Okay, let's have a little more fun with our buddy Koolin with Krauss. Both of those words start with a K. Koolin with Krauss. K and K. So everybody check his channel out. He's a lot of fun. Old hippie boy, I tell you what, he really is a lot of fun to watch. He's got a lot of spirit. He tries to enjoy life while he's doing his heating and air repairs and replacements and stuff, and he's got a really good channel, Koolin with Krauss. So everybody check him out if you haven't already. But he done dropped the gauntlet on the old man here and carried on about pullers and, you know, how he's seen what I do and he thinks whatever. Well, okay. He made a video, you can find it if you want to, and he claimed that it took him 50 seconds to set up his puller and push a shaft out. Now, it wasn't one like the one I recently did where there was, you know, a blower shaft, which is really hard. It was an outdoor fan like this. And it was similar to that. It was kind of rusted, but flush. So not a lot of it was exposed. Well, some guys tried, they beat this thing to death. You can see the back of it there. They've beat the cap off of it trying so hard. They've already got the set screw out. And so I went back and said some stuff about his claims on his video. And I kind of was counting time where you started working on it. Okay, well, he only counted the time of having the puller in his hand, putting it on, tightening it down, and pushing it out with a drill. All right, well, so I'm going to do something similar to that. You know, so I'm going to let him start the clock or whatever. We're just having a little fun here. Well, let me tell you why I don't need a puller. It's not a heating and air thing, man. And I'm not saying I'm a better heating and air guy to you. You know, I'm a mechanic, man. I build race cars, motorcycles, Holley carburetors. You know, if I can put this together and piece it back together after it's wrecked, there's a couple of engines I'm building there, some heads, crankshafts. So I'm actually a mechanic. I'm not just a heating and air guy, but it's just not something you need. Charles did a video recently, and I tell you what, you ought to go watch it. It's funny. He showed the 5 best uses of pullers. And he's got one he carries around. If he needs it, he'll use it, and he probably usually doesn't, but I don't know, maybe he does. Anyway, so instead of picking on Krauss the way I did, I'm gonna play his way. All right, so let's do a hard one first. That other one, that ain't nothing. That's something like what he did. And that's easy. We got Girl Scouts take him out. So let's do a hard one here. This thing here looks to be way more rusted up than that one he did. No, I hadn't sprayed it yet or nothing, but Allen wrenches or Allen set bolts are coming right out. At least that one did. So did that one. All right. This one looks like it's gonna be pretty tough because it is rusted up. So he didn't spray his, or he said he didn't, so I'm not gonna spray mine. And we're just gonna compare his puller to mine. Now you got to admit, Krauss. It's a little worse than the one you had. This one here is really rusted, but it's still not hard. It's flush, so there's only so much can be inside here. But we'll see. I don't really need to keep the blade, but generally you try to. This one we don't really need to, because it's just old as the hills. But the one he was doing and the ones I'm always doing in the field, we're trying to keep the blade or the blower wheel or whatever. So biggest thing I'm worried about, there's my puller, is I'm gonna hold this thing over here and it's gonna drop out and hit me on the foot. But that's all right. If it does, I deserve it. So you started your timer, you had your set bolts out, I've got mine out, and you say you did not lubricate it, I'm not gonna lubricate this. So you started your timer and you said it went 50 seconds, all right? Let's start mine now. How long did that take? Kraussy poo. Yours wasn't quite that bad, was it? It was really bad. And I think that took 5 seconds maybe. And you got your puller out and you tightened up set bolts and did all kind of silly stuff. Yours wasn't near that old or near that hard or near that rusted or anything, was it? Get the light on. I mean, that one's real bad. Yours was nothing. And I tell you, man, I know what it's like to deal with the agony of defeat like you just did. What was that, 5 seconds, 7 seconds, 8 seconds? I don't know, I wasn't looking at the timer, but I'll get some hard ones in here and do them and show you some more. And maybe you can learn, maybe you not, maybe you don't want to, maybe you keep playing with your little pullers. But before I had this, I did the same thing with a hammer and a drift and a chisel and a rod similar to that on the back bumper of my truck, whatever, before I had this. This just takes it way down. But anyway, there you go. Your turn, Krauss.